The Apollo pictures pretty much convinced everyone that the moon was obviously worthless. It looked like an abandoned cement plant. Who could think of anything that was useful there? But you have to recall that the early settlers crossing the United States felt the same way about Nebraska, Kansas, North Dakota. It took a while, but then they figured out that entire Great Plains could become the breadbasket of the world. It seems to me that the moon is analogous to the Great Plains in some ways. Because no one really has been there for very long or done very much, we're ignorant. And a place that big, almost the size of North and South America, has resources. It's an entire continent that is unexplored. And I am firmly convinced that once we get people and robots exploring the moon, the spirit of the global civilization will be lifted when people recognize, hey, there is a frontier. We do have a place to expand and to learn new things.
All of the technology exists to go to the moon. All of the electronics, all of the propulsion, everything exists in the commercial form. You can go buy it. The one thing that you can't go get as easily is the money. So you have to create funding, you have to create a business, you have to create an opportunity that people identify and tag onto and say, this is what I want to do.
It is an amazing thing to choose wholly and openly something that you love and then to commit everything into it. This moon landing calls to me. It's got my name on it.
Well, Red's robots have been on, I think, every continent of the world.
Red Whitaker, our founder, created robots that walk into active volcanoes, robots that roam the Antarctic ice sheet looking for meteorites.
Well, he seems to be a very driven person, a very highly motivated person himself, and someone who just does not quit.
I could very quickly tell that if there was anyone in the world who could pull this off, it would be him.
And he inspires people to take responsibility for something and see it through and create something that really is useful.
What natural step better than to advance robotic technology than to take the last step and get to the moon?
The moon is unique in that it is hot and cold, fire and ice.
To date, that has killed all but 2 rovers on the moon.
The moon also has mineral resources like platinum group metals. Very rare on Earth, they cost more than $1,000 per gram.
The moon is full of a material called helium-3. A single train car of helium-3 could power the United States for an entire year.
Despite an identity with terrestrial robots and working machines, I've been a scholar of the moon for decades, and particularly have envisioned the great robot missions yet to come. That turned real with the catalyst of the Google Prize announcement.
Astrobotic was formed to initially go after the Google Lunar X Prize to put a robot on the moon, but we have a much broader focus, which is to have repeated regular missions to the moon that serve space agencies, academic researchers, and the private sector.
I think one really compelling aspect of Astrobotic is the location in Pittsburgh.
People here build things. There are lots of machine shops, and there's lots of knowledge about how to create hardware at a low cost.
To take a city with the kind of past that Pittsburgh has and go from steel to nothing and then to the moon, it symbolizes kind of what America used to be and what America could be again.
Man first landed on the moon 40 years ago, and ever since then the moon has been silent. There's been no humans there, no robots there. We intend to change that.
At a time when robotics was the stuff of science fiction, I engaged in the question, what could these machines do in the working world? Field robotics encounters the world as it exists, not as it is contrived or faked for success. My goal is that it would develop, secure, and feed this planet and explore worlds beyond.
And all of these things look towards how do we drive in these very extreme environments where people just can't go.
This generation of space roboticists are the inheritors. They are the heirs apparent.
Really, it seems that the people who have stuck with us, been here through the years, that they're the ones who understand the bigger picture, that what we're doing right now, just sending a robot to the moon, can catalyze a whole revolution in the way we look at space. It's going to happen somehow, no matter what we have to do. And that Red is part of the reason why that is, because he won't quit.
I have a very robot-centric view of the world, and I have a great aspiration that a machine wrought by my own hands would fly and land.
One of the key things about this expedition will be the fact that with 3D HD video coming back, people will be able to experience the lunar frontier and see it with the same clarity as an Apollo astronaut. My hope is that as we do this mission, people will see that they can take part, that we'll be accepting art projects, we'll be accepting code modules, we'll be taking mementos from the public, and they'll see that space exploration is something that they can participate in. And I think as civilization grows and people need more resources, we're going to need to expand into the solar system and understand our neighborhood.
The Apollo astronauts could reach out and put their thumb over the entire planet Earth, and that kind of does something to you.
Space is almost the definition of our future. When you see those Apollo shots, you think, that's the future, even though it happened 40 years ago. It's the great unexplored. It's the only really great, vast expanse that humanity has left before it.
The human spirit is built for exploration, and there's much more to be done than is in our past.